Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse Podcast. This is episode number 493. My name is Adam Patterson. With me today is Kevin Rakestraw. Hey, Kevin.
Hello.
This week on the show, we're going to be talking about When Evil Lurks. This is available now on Shudder. You know, Halloween might be over, but we're still cracking away at these horror movies.
Not in this household.
Exactly.
It's a year-round thing.
Yep.
Spooks always on the weekend. It's always spook season.
Always spooky time. We're also going to go over some of what we've been watching on the watch list and this week's new releases in theaters, VOD, and Blu-ray. Thank you so much for joining us this week. If you have a moment, consider reviewing us on iTunes. That'd be great. No major news to talk about at the top of the show. News Day by the 90s. We have a topic, we have a theme, and we have a date that we're going to be recording it. But yeah, just stay tuned for more information on that. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our review. When Evil Lurks. This is written and directed by Damien Rugna. I have a synopsis here. In a remote village, two brothers find a demon-infected man just about to give birth to evil itself. They decide to get rid of the man, but merely succeed in spreading the chaos. And boy, howdy, do they succeed in spreading the chaos. Kevin, we'll start with you. What are your initial impressions of When Evil Lurks?
This was quite the surprise. You know, we always talk about anticipated movies, and we always mention how there's a bunch of stuff that we've never heard of that'll, come into our viewing history throughout the year. And I think this is close to being one of them. I was pleasantly surprised with this, and I gotta say, I think the thing that strikes me the most about this movie, or the thing that I like the most, is, and this could be a cultural thing, but just the way in which this is presented, like there's so much like backstory. All the characters just like they know exactly what's going on, and there's rules and regulations to this shit, and you're just like finding it out piece by piece. You're just kind of thrown in the deep end, and man, that got me hooked right from the beginning and just kept me intrigued throughout the way that they handled that.
Yeah, I mean that's was going to be one of the number one things that I mentioned as well. I think that's one of the biggest highlights of this movie, is that this takes place in a very well established world, that there's no exposition dumps. There's no like title cards at the beginning that give us all the backstory or anything like that. We're just kind of thrown into it. And the thing that I like is that it doesn't take place in a big city where there's like, news reports coming on about outbreaks or whatever, it is. It's in this like remote village area. So it's like how they deal with this situation where like the world has gone evil. There's this plague of demonic possession that's just happening, and they're familiar with it. They're living with it, but it's all new to us. And I think that's kind of one of the most fascinating things about it. And it's a thing that like when you first start to realize like, oh, okay, so they know way more than we do about this world. I think that's when things get really interesting, and it happens fairly early on too.
Yeah. And I also love that you have that realization, right? Of like, oh, these guys know way more than we know. Like they're well versed in this. But then later on in the movie, they meet people that know even more. And it makes them look like they know, and you're just like, oh, they know like a little bit more than I do.
I also love that even though, we learn a ton as the movie progresses, there's still a lot of stuff that we don't know by the end. Like how things got to this point, and like there's like a lot of tools. Like there's these cleaners, and they have like various tools that they use. And it's like, we never really got to see how that all works. So there's like, there's still more that's like kind of left for interpretation or like speculation as to how things go in this world. And I thought that was all great. I mean, world building, we talk about world building a lot on this show, and it seems to be a pretty big factor in movies like this, and I think that they did such a good job. And that's on top of presenting I will say for sure the most shocking horror movie I've seen this year. There were a couple of scenes in this movie that my jaw was like on the floor. Like it takes a lot, I watch a lot of horror movies. So for me to have like any kind of like physical reaction to a movie, it takes a lot. And this movie just absolutely floored me for a couple scenes. It is genuinely shocking.
I do want to ask, because I was curious, because you texted me a couple of times, like when you were watching this movie, right? You texted me one thing where you're like, oh shit, this movie is wild. And then you texted me not shortly after that where you're like, oh shit, it's even more wild. And I thought, don't look up anything. Just go into it completely blind, which I did. I didn't look at anything. I didn't even know it was Argentinian, to be honest with you. Until, the first like 18 fucking credits in the beginning of the movie. But I'm curious as to what the first two things were that warranted the text. Because wait, before you answer, because I just thought, I want to guess.
Okay.
Let me guess. So I'm thinking, I'm trying to think what the first thing would have been. Because I'm thinking the second thing is the dog and the kid.
Yes, that was the second thing.
That was the second thing. The first thing was just after the goat.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thought so.
Because, see, I went into this cold too, so I didn't see any trailers or anything. I knew that it had a lot of hype around it. I think that it screened at like Fantastic Fest or maybe Fantasia, like one of those, and a lot of people were kind of buzzing about it. And that's what initially put it on my radar. But I went into it completely cold. Didn't really know anything about it. So, and that's how I recommend doing it. Like there's a couple scenes in this movie that I just thought were insane, just absolutely insane.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of scenes that I was not prepared for. They went a way in which I didn't think they were going to go.
Nah, this movie goes hard. This movie, like, it is pretty brutal what happens in this movie. And props to like all of the makeup and effects teams, like all the like gore and bodily functions and stuff that they're going on here.
Some of the stuff is gross as shit.
Yeah, I mean it is pretty freaking, like when they first, like the synopsis says where they find the guy who's infected with the demon. That guy, man, he is in rough shape when they find him, and it is disgusting when they're trying to move him, and oh my god. Yeah. So just, I found this movie to be very refreshing when it comes to the possession film. They went in it like a definitely a different direction than your traditional possession movie, and I appreciated that. Coming off of Exorcist Believer, which I'll talk about in a little bit, like this was just such a breath of fresh air compared to that train wreck. So yeah, I am all about this movie. This is probably going to be my number one horror movie of the year. As of right now, it definitely is.
I will say something though, and I'm just mentioning this, like I really didn't care. I just thought I found it interesting. I'll see what you think, because as much as the effects work does look great, like some of the body work is disgusting. Some of the violence is absolutely disgusting. Looks very real, but all of that, and then on the opposite side of the coin is like whenever they were like driving in the car.
Oh yeah,
it's just like, what the fuck? That
was weird. Yeah.
Like,
I did notice that. I did notice that. It was a little bizarre. I'm not sure what was going on there.
Yeah, like I didn't necessarily care. It's not like it did anything for me,
Yeah, it
like
didn't
ruined
detract
anything.
it.
I just found it interesting because I was just like, what's happening? Why can't we just drive in a car?
I didn't realize it until just now that this is the same director that did Terrified, which was one of the more recent, like, genuinely scary movies that I've seen. So this guy definitely knows his stuff when it comes to horror. If you haven't seen Terrified, Kevin, I think that you will like that one quite a bit.
This looks fucked up.
Yeah, it's really good. I think that's on Shudder too. I think that's where I saw it.
You are correct.
Yeah, definitely recommend Terrified because it is. Oh my god, it is intense too. Yeah, so When Evil Lurks, definitely recommend this one. Had a great time with it. It's truly disturbing. There's a few moments that, it's not like it's one of those movies where it's not like constant. There's not like constant jump scares or anything like that. It's like little spurts. There's long periods of time where it's like the main character's just trying to get the hell out of, the village or wherever they are, trying to get away from the demon.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like these just little bursts of like ultra violence or horror. And so it's definitely not like wall to wall scares or anything like that.
No, but I think that's honestly the reason I liked it so much. Is because there was so much of that intrigue.
Same here.
So much of like the world building type, just like, slowly giving you information and giving you a little bit more of the lore.
And I like, I just like the setup where it almost feels like a road trip movie of sorts where they're trying to just get out of there, and they're encountering these like little set pieces and stuff as they go. And oh yeah, I just remembered the part with all the kids too. Man, brutal. God.
Yeah, fuck those kids, man.
God, this so lots of surprises in this too. I highly recommend this movie. It's if you're looking for a good solid horror movie, check out When Evil Lurks. Let's go ahead and let's give it a score. I'm pretty high on this one. I'm at like an 8. I'm like an 8.
Man. That's an emphatic 8. I think I'm like a 7.5. I might, time will tell, but I might get to an 8. To be honest,
I feel like I want to rewatch this too, and that's not something that I've said about too many movies this year. But
wow,
I'm anxious to give this a rewatch too.
Whoa!
All right, again, that's on Shudder, so check it out there. Let's go ahead and talk about some of what we've been watching. I think it's your turn this week, Kevin. We'll go with you.
Oh man, it's me. I got a couple here. First one's going to be Manhattan Baby from 1982. It's a Fulci movie.
And I haven't seen this one.
Yeah, it's not as popular as some of his other ones, and I'll tell you why in a minute. This is on Shudder, also on Tubi as well. This is not that good. There's an archaeologist and his wife and their daughter. They're in Egypt. He's doing his archaeology stuff. His wife is doing photographs and whatnot. He finds this like cursed tomb, and he decides to fucking go down there, even though people keep telling him, don't do it. And he does it anyways. He gets shot. This thing on the wall. He finds this secret place thing on the wall, shoots blue lasers at him. Now he's blind.
Oh.
Now he's back in Manhattan. Okay? Hence the title. Blind. He don't know what the fuck's going on. And now all this weird shit's happening, right? Because when they were in Egypt, his daughter was visited by this mysterious lady, gave her like a trinket medallion type thing. Well, that's fucking cursed. And now all sorts of strange shit's happening. And people just start disappearing. Well, you know where they go? Well, they end up in Egypt, just in the desert. There's some sort of portal. Okay? More blue lasers. It's a lot of blue lasers, really. There's not much else. Uh, and that's it. It's kind of boring.
Mm.
The blue lasers are funny. One guy does get attacked by uh stuffed birds that come to life, tear his face off, and that's about it. Everything else is kind of boring.
All right.
Kind
Well,
of a letdown. Yeah, it's a bummer.
that's Manhattan Baby. Speaking of bummer and letdown, as I mentioned, I saw Exorcist Believer. This is directed by David Gordon Green. As you might expect, this was not good. I really wanted to like this. I remember when I saw the first trailer. I can't remember if it was like a teaser or what, but I was like, oh, this actually looks pretty good. It looks kind of interesting. But no, nope, not. It's a nothing of a movie. Like it's a movie that probably just shouldn't have existed at all. It adds nothing to the franchise. You know, they tried to do something kind of different with this this like team of exorcists where it's like all different religions and stuff, trying to do a double exorcism on these two young girls who are like, they're like possessed by the same demon. So like their like heartbeats are in sync and the demon can control both of them at once and all of this stuff. And the demon forces them to like make really tough decisions, but it's like, there's just nothing here. Like maybe the premise was okay, but the overall package is just like, it's so fleeting. Like it wasn't scary. The jump scares were just lazy, and I mean it's not even anywhere close to the original or even The Exorcist 3, which was, you know, that was fantastic as sort of a standalone thing. But yeah, it's bad. Avoid.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I saw a movie recently. Going to tell you about it that I thought was. I did not have high expectations, and that was A Haunting in Venice, the new Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, I actually started watching this, but I didn't finish it.
Man, there's a couple of things about this that I want to talk about, and then I forgot to talk about with Manhattan Baby, which with Manhattan Baby, it's a Fulci movie, right, from the 80s. He doesn't have a huge budget, right? He's making his little fun films or whatever, but there's still like this that you don't really see anymore, whereas like that movie takes place partly in Egypt and there's these big grandiose scenes and shit, just incredible, utilizing the landscape, and then bam, it's back in Manhattan. Like you just don't really see that anymore, like multiple locations and that kind of thing. Which, and this is something else that I've talked about, is you don't really see a lot of movies taking place in Venice anymore, like you used to back in the 60s and 70s and even the 50s. Well, here you go. This one in Venice. God, I hope so. It's in the title. And I don't know. I'm a sucker for Venice. Like if a movie's in place in Venice and it's a whodunit, count me in. Like I need to know whodunit. And I fucking love the location. And I actually thought like the filmmaking was quite surprising. I was actually like interested like with the technique and just everything that was happening visually, but also it's just a well-written whodunit. It's just a good time.
Yeah,
murder mystery.
So far, like I said, I'm only about halfway through this. I just started this last night, actually. It looks gorgeous. Like his other two movies looked gorgeous too, like Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile. Like both of those movies looked incredible, like visually. As far as like the set designs and production and costuming and all of that stuff. But this one is definitely, I'm more into this one than the other two by far, just by virtue of the location and the fact that it's more horror themed than the other two. And I think that he does a good job of like accentuating the horror by using like different I don't know if it's like fisheye that he's using, but he uses a lot of he's employing some different lots of cool camera techniques and stuff to make things feel paranoid, like for lack
Oh
of a better
yeah,
term.
we got all sorts of fucking angles. We got cameras flipping upside
Yeah,
down.
it's pretty
Yeah,
cool. I like that.
yeah. It was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I was not really expecting to.
Cool. That's A Haunting in Venice. That's on Hulu. You can check that out on Hulu.
Hulu.
Let's see. I saw Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't have much to say about it. I was never a fan of the games. The games were like, just, I think we're just too old. We just too old for the games. So they weren't really anything that appealed to me. But I am familiar with the games. I'm familiar with the very deep lore that the games have with them. So I was kind of interested to see how that would translate into a movie. And they don't do anything cool with the lore. Like, the lore in Five Nights at Freddy's is... that's the reason that one of the main reasons that people play. Like, the games themselves are very rudimentary. It's the kind of analog horror aspects of it that I think are appealing to people in, looking for all the little Easter eggs and the clues and trying to piece together the backstory and all of that stuff. But like, all of that was stripped away in the movie in lieu of just a really basic kind of teen friendly horror movie. It's not scary at all. One thing that I will compliment them on is the animatronics that they created for this. They didn't do CG. They actually created animatronics, and they were great. Like, they looked great. The way that they moved and the like articulation and the detail looked awesome. But that's really where the compliments kind of end for me. I didn't like the score was weird. I didn't like the music at all. Josh Hutcherson is fine. I like him. Like, I'm rooting for him to get some good roles, but I feel like they're just not coming for him. He always seems to be in these like really kind of mid grade movies that don't do very well. But yeah, that's pretty much all. Shout outs to Matthew Lillard in this as well.
Matthew Lillard showing.
Yeah, man. In. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Five Nights at Freddy's is kind of garbage. It's on Peacock if you want to check it out.
Why? But you just say it's on Peacock if you want to check it out. Just imagining, the 14 people that are listening, just like, Peacock. I got Peacock.
Oh, I knew there was a reason I had that subscription.
The fuck? I sign up for Peacock. Get the fuck out of here. This movie is the next movie I watched is on Criterion, Tubi, HBO Max, everywhere. Canopy, Freevee. You ever hear of Freevee?
I have heard of Freevee. I've never actually watched anything on it, but I've heard of it.
It's on Shout, Plex.
All of them.
It's everywhere. It's fucking on everything.
I wonder if it's like what you call it, public domain or something.
No, I wouldn't expect it to be when I tell you what the movie is, and that's Smithereens from 1982, Susan Seidelman movie.
Huh. Yeah.
I wouldn't think that's...
No. I don't think so. That just came out on Criterion. I have the Criterion for this.
Yeah, well, I just watched it. I just checked it out.
What'd you think?
And I fucking loved it.
Yeah, me too.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I love... I'm a sucker for these types of films, just that kind of wandering aimlessness. There's just enough of a plot here. It's an interesting plot in that, like, what's going to happen at every turn, and you're just kind of hoping that it doesn't. You're just like, come on. Like, that's not going to happen. And then it does. And you're like, God damn it, should have known it. But you're just kind of like rooting throughout the movie of like, no, the bad thing's not going to happen. A good thing's going to happen. But the good thing does not happen, really. Some small things here and there. But overall, just the aesthetic of it. I mean, it's New York City in the 80s. The punk rock scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's the music is fucking incredible. All the acting's great. The characters are great. it just has that wonderful, just aimlessness, just day to day small shit going on. Just absolutely loved it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Smithereens, I highly recommend it. It's definitely one of those awesome, like, East Village, fucking New York loft type movies that just scream New York art house grime. I love it. It's any movie that has that aesthetic, I'm kind of instantly into.
And that Feely song that they use throughout.
Oh yeah.
And it just works so fucking perfectly.
Hell yeah. Smithereens, man. Check that out on
Get it.
any platform. Freevee.
I just named like 9 that you can watch it on.
Yeah.
Fucking
And
man.
Freevee is free. So
They're
there
all
you go.
free.
Yeah. Tubi's
Almost all
free.
of them.
Yeah.
Oh, so many free. But this is another thing that I found out because this is also on Criterion, I think. Or no, it's on Amazon Prime. Another Susan Seidelman movie that I have to check out, and that's She Devil.
Oh, the Roseanne. Yeah.
With Roseanne Barr and Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
What?
I saw that
I
like
never heard of
ages ago.
I have to see this. I need it.
Cool. That's Smithereens. Check it out. I saw Suitable Flesh. This is by Joe Lynch.
Yes. Tell me about this, please.
So this is it's a Lovecraft adaptation. Didn't know that going into it. And
Okay.
it's presented like, it reminds me a lot of like a 90s erotic thriller. And that's a good thing to me. It has like this really great kind of saxophone score to it, and there's like soft lighting that's used, and there's a bunch of like split diopter shots, so it's got this kind of, you know, almost a De Palma-esque look to it. Really into the style of this one. What you have here is it's sort of like there's like an eldritch demon sort of that possesses this person, and they are able to pass through to like other people, so it can like go out of one host's body and into another one. And the film stars Heather Graham as a psychiatrist who, her patient, or this person comes in looking for help, and it turns out that this person is the host of this like demon, and the demon ends up going into her, and it's just about like them trying to stop this horrible eldritch demon from carrying out its evil plan. It's pretty solid. I would recommend it. It's very gory. I like Joe Lynch's stuff. I liked Mayhem a lot, which was, I think, maybe his last movie. I really liked Mayhem. I thought that was really fun. But like Everly and Knights of Badassdom, I was not a fan of. So I guess he's a little bit hit or miss for me, but yeah, Suitable Flesh, I would give it a light recommend. I think that this is a Shudder film, but it's not on Shudder yet. It's just on VOD, so I'm sure that it's going to pop up on Shudder before too long. But I guess for now they wanted to have it on VOD first, and then maybe because like their Halloween lineup was just absolutely stacked on Shudder. Like it was crazy, the releases. So maybe that's why. But yeah, I would say you could probably wait for Shudder to drop it and then check it out. But yeah, pretty solid. Suitable Flesh. All right, let's take a look at what we have in theaters this week. The big one is The Marvels, which is the new Marvel movie.
Oh, for real?
Yep. I actually don't think anybody cares about this.
It does seem like Marvel is really...
Oh, they're hurting. Yeah,
Gotta be, right?
yeah, they fell off big time, and they like their movies are just not making what they expect anymore. Like people are just tired, man. It's just it's too much. There was too much Marvel going on, and I feel like at the beginning they were taking risks. They were just it was something fresh. It was something new, and now it's a formula, and there's just nothing. Like they're all just so boring now. And I know we've talked about this multiple times on this show, but at any rate, I don't think I'll be seeing the Marvels in the theater. At least I might watch it when it hits Disney Plus or whatever, but not interested in it. Yeah, so that's the big release. There's a few smaller releases coming out. I don't know if they're getting like a wide release or not. Walden is one of them with Emil Hirsch. Got something called Your Lucky Day. It looks like there's a movie called It's a Wonderful Knife coming out.
Ooh, It's a Wonderful Knife.
Yeah, it's a little Christmas horror, I think.
Yeah, but I'm kind of interested on the knife. Like, is it a cool knife or?
It looks like a kitchen. I mean, in the poster, it's a kitchen knife, but it's wrapped in Christmas lights.
On the poster that I'm looking at, it's not a kitchen knife at all. It looks like some sort of artifact.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
interesting.
It's. I mean, it is. I don't know if I would necessarily say wonderful, but I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting. It's like a dagger.
Okay. Yeah, the poster I'm looking at, it's just a kitchen knife. I think.
Oh, okay. Well, it looks like there's two. There's a 2014 short film, and then it looks like there's a 2023 90-minute feature.
Oh, okay. So is the new one the one with the artifact, or vice versa?
The new one's the one with the artifact.
Oh, okay. So the site that I'm looking at is using.
You got Justin Long in there.
Oh, okay.
Joel McHale.
Did you see the trailer for the John Woo movie, the Silent Night movie?
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah.
It looks so over the top. I'm actually really excited for that. Anyway, that's pretty much it for theaters. Let's see what's coming out on VOD this week. Starting with November 7th, we have Lion Girl. We got Ghosts of the Void, Under the Boardwalk, which is looks like an animated movie. Polaris, Love Virtually, Open, Foe, Still a Black Star, Where the Devil Roams. That's one I was interested in. Where the Devil Roams. Then on November 9th, we have BTS, Yet to Come in Cinemas.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that, but the title rather. November 10th, we have The Dirty South. We got Showdown at the Grand, The Other Zoe. We got Kane, Rumble in the Dark. No, sorry, Rumble Through the Dark. Rumble Through the Dark. I kind of like Rumble in the Dark better.
No, they're getting through it.
I like the idea. I like the idea of just fighting in the dark. Like that's an idea right there. There's like chess boxing and like different types of like fighting sports, slap fighting, etc. Let's do dark fighting where it's a pitch black room. The viewers get night vision so they can see. And the fighters have to just fight in pitch black darkness.
Incredible.
So they're just like, flailing. They're struggling to see. They're trying to find the grapples. That's $1 million idea right there.
Well, this one is, I don't know if it is that. It might be, but it's Aaron Eckhart as a former bare knuckle fighter in the Mississippi Delta. Oh shit, he's got to win one last fight to pay off his debt to the local mob boss and save his childhood home.
I mean, my thing sounds better. Okay, we also have Cher, Question mark?
What?
Share?
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 Really?
Yeah.
With a question mark.
Share?
Get out of here.
A man struggles to survive after awakening alone, trapped in a society connected only by a primitive computer network, where the ability to entertain is the only currency.
Okay.
Grappling with a flickering, faulty memory of his life before, the film's nameless protagonist discovers his unseen audience seems to reward his moments of humiliation and pain.
Oh, that's probably like a comment on like a culture thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You think like a content thing?
Probably. Yeah.
Do you
I
think?
mean, yeah, like maybe 10 years too soon, but yeah.
Ah, man. I wonder if it's pointed. Do you think it's pointed?
I would venture a guess to say that it is pointed. Yes.
Okay.
Blu-ray this week, starting with November 7th. Got Fargo coming out in 4K. Same with Witness and American Graffiti and Scrooged and Trading Places and The Guns of Navarone.
Dang.
Black Hawk Down. Surviving the Game is coming out, not in 4K though, just a regular Blu-ray release for Surviving the Game. Not good enough for 4K yet.
A quick question now, going back to the Witness thing. Did we go to school with the kid that was in this movie?
No, we went to school with the kid who was in the Tim Allen, Kirstie Alley comedy about the Amish.
Oh, yeah? What?
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the movie, but I just remember it was Tim Allen and Kirstie Alley.
Tim Allen Amish comedy. What do we got? For richer or poor?
That's the one.
Brian Spicer. Is he on IMDb?
Probably not.
Yeah,
I think he was I think he was an extra.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was too.
Let's see. We have Violent Night coming out in 4K. Gran Turismo.
Yes.
Duck Soup is getting a new release from 1933. The bunch of other Marx Brothers comedies are coming out, also including Animal Crackers, Horse Feathers, Monkey Business, The Coconuts, Scarface coming out in 4K. Looks like there's a Clerks box set that's coming out, Clerks 1 through 3. It Lives Inside from earlier this year. The Gamblers from 1970. Lion Girl, Casino, Warhorse 1. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Warhorse 2?
Warhorse 1 is the name of it. I don't think that it's related to the movie, the Spielberg movie Warhorse.
But that's a presumptuous thing, right? To be like, this is Warhorse 1.
They might have been trying to bank off of that, but it's completely unrelated.
Man, nothing's coming up when I type in Warhorse 1.
It's ONE. Warhorse, second word, 1.
Oh, there it is. Johnny Strong.
Yeah.
Oh.
Johnny Strong.
Oh, man. Gunned down Navy SEAL, Master Chief. I just got a guided child to safety through a gauntlet of hostile Taliban insurgents.
Classic, just your classic Warhorse story.
Classic Warhorse 1.
What about Criterion's this week?
Oh, we got one, and that's a box set. Okay, the most bang for your buck, I guess. I don't know, their box sets are kind of expensive. But it's Jackie Chan. You get 6 movies on here, buddy. Emergence of a Superstar.
Oh, so these are the early...
These are the early 70s. Late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, Spiritual Kung Fu, Half a Loaf of Kung Fu, Fearless
Half a
Hyena
Loaf.
1 and 2. Half a Loaf of Kung Fu.
Hell yeah.
Young Master, My Lucky Stars. So this is like pre-Drunken Master. This is early.
This is the emergence of a superstar.
Yeah. I actually I never saw any of these, so I don't know.
Me either.
Yeah. I honestly haven't seen a ton of Jackie Chan stuff, especially like the older stuff.
Same here.
Like Police
But now
Story.
Well, now you can rectify that, buddy.
I can, but I'm probably not, to be honest with you. Like, I just have so much other stuff going on in my life. That old Jackie Chan doesn't really fit in it right now.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. If you could, take a minute to review us on iTunes, that'd be great. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.